Hi, my name is Dr. Cheryl Meyer, and I help people navigate through spiritual awakenings. I'm a psychologist and a life coach. All right, but today I wanted to talk to you guys about, I just did this meditation this morning, and it was so good, and it was so healing. I was crying my eyes out. So it's this guy named Aaron Doughty. I'm in this, raise your vibration thing that he does. And he learned from he has like a shadow working coach or something. So it's like he does the inner work and learns from there and then gives it to us. And I do the inner work from so much of my own therapy that I've done before, and so many mystic classes and all these things that I study. I don't need to go into them. Watch my other videos. I talk all about all of it if you want to learn more. I don't want to beat around the bush. So today I want to teach you guys what I just learned because it was so profound to me, and I've been learning it in all sorts of different ways. Oh, look, maybe we can use my Bob Marley lighter. I'm like, where is it? I just saw it in a picture, so I thought it was where oh, it got knocked down. Oh, it knocked down my whole, I have my Wonder Woman. I knocked down my whole computer the other day. I forgot. That's why. But I just saw a picture where he was just sitting right there. But anyway, what Aaron did was use a candle. And so what happens, let me tell you what happens, is when you're a child and you're not getting the nurturing and the love and the attention that you need, you require as a child, to be held. It's like a baby will die if it's not being held and cared for or whatever. So what we do is we end up going up into these centers, like our third eye and our crown chakra. If you don't know what that is, it's fine. We just have energy centers in our body. Here's your heart, here's your throat, to name some. Here's your solar plexus, and then your womb area, and then your rooted area. And so how you connect to the ground, how you connect in your creative area, like where babies are created, how you connect in your subconscious, your heart, you want to live in your heart chakra, your heart area, whatever. If you're not familiar with chakras, it doesn't matter. It's not some weird religion, believe me. I mean, you don't have to believe me, test whatever I say, but I know it was all weird to me at first, but don't let your mind chatter take you away from the good information that's going to come through this video. Always you can use your own discernment, but our mind will be like, oh no, I'm just going to write that off because it sounds unfamiliar to me. But unfamiliar is unlike your family of origin. And so we want to get away from whatever was destructive in our childhood. We want to so anyway, what happens if you're not getting the nurturing that you needed, then what you do is you go up here, and this is like where you get like downloads and you're aware of, it's like an extrasensory perception, like your third eye or whatever. If you don't understand that, that's fine too. But you go in this place and you go in your crown and you feel out and you become like an empath. So you feel out, what are other people wanting? What are they feeling? So that you can figure out what they want and learn how to please them in order to try to get what you needed in childhood. So we learn this pattern. But what it does is it does make you highly sensitive, and it can help with your work and stuff like that. It helps me all the time with my work as a psychologist and as a life coach. So it's fine that I have this skill, but it has taken away from my life. And that's why I'm making this video, because in whatever way it's been taken away from your life, I want you to be healed from it and not be bound by it. I really want to walk with people and offer my services in whatever way I can, to help you as you navigate through your spiritual awakening, which is, we are spiritual beings in a human body. We're living in this body, and when you come into awareness of your divine origins, that you're a divine one, that you are a soul and you're living in this body, then you come back more into resonance with your home. You're at home. And anyway, so when we do this, when we are in here trying to figure out trying to figure out what people want so that we can please them so that they can come in and nurture us. It's just a repetition. I've said this in a number of my own videos. And I mean, like, this is my own video, but you know, where I do it like this. I say, you know, you are in the child position and here's the parent, you know, like this, one up, one down. And what we keep doing is we get stuck in this place, or we can get stuck in this place. And we try, because when you're down here as a child, you're just waiting. You're waiting for the love to come in, for the nurturing. You can't go make your macaroni and cheese by yourself as a 3-year-old or whatever, you know. So we do our little dance and we try to get our parents to show up for us in the ways we needed. But now it's the great thing, and this is what I am teaching in all of my videos, is that you do not have to be dependent anymore, because I'm always teaching this to myself, is you are an adult, you know. So you may feel just as inept as your parents felt, you know, not qualified, not able, or whatever. But actually, that's just a lack mentality that sometimes we have, because we forget we are not connected to our divine origin, we're created in the image and likeness of God. And you have gifts inside of you, and you have access to all sorts of abilities. Christ said, the things that I've done, you can do greater and more, you know. Anyway, let's go back to what Aaron was teaching today, which was so profound for me, is that you learn then when you're up here instead of in your body, because we learn not to be in our body. If we're not getting nurtured, let's just say if we're not getting fed or nurtured, then we don't feel like it's safe to be in our body. We're not going to feel held. That's painful, to keep feeling like I'm not being held. Believe me. Oh, and by the way, like, weighted blanket. I went to Target one time and I was walking by and my intuition did the double take. I'm like, wait, what is that? It was on sale too. It was this weighted blanket. I have it on my bed, and it's like this 12-pound blanket, and it's spread out. The weight is spread out. I was like, who needs this? This is stupid. What? I didn't understand what it was, but like, I'm checking out carrying this heavy blanket. So awesome. You just feel like so loved and comforted under this thing. And it's so funny because I heard Latoya saying in one of her other videos, she's like, get you a weighted blanket. I'm like, yeah. Like, it's so funny that the answer came to her as well. Anyway, it's just beautiful how these things happen. But so what we do though is we get out of our body because we didn't feel safe and held and nurtured in our body. And so I've worked with a lot of people who've had eating disorders, and you know, I understand myself not being comfortable in my own body before, and now it's really fun, and I roller skate and just do things to keep staying in my body. But anyway, so we leave our body and our energy goes out, and we're trying to pick up all this information all the time to try to figure out how we can please these people, but we're not in our own frame, and if you can understand, okay? So I loved this part. Aaron was saying how, you know, once he found this out, I'll let him be vulnerable in his own videos, but it was so sweet. He was saying, you know, I think he said this in other public videos because this was more for the group, you know, but just, you know, once he became aware that he was doing this, he got all mad, you know, and I was like, oh, I totally relate. I can say what I relate to getting so mad because I'm a perfectionist in a lot of ways, so mad at myself for staying in that place for so long, thinking I had to be a pleaser for other people and do what they wanted in order to be complete. You know, I went from one extreme to the other, to like, I don't need anybody, like, get out of my face. I don't want to see you. I don't want to know you. I'm just going to live this life like the lone wolf that I am, you know, to I'm coming around a little bit more soft and welcoming people and seeing that it's fun to have other people in my life, and you can interact and be, I don't want to say interdependent, but just like enjoy what they have to offer, and it's fun. But anyway, but going back to when you're not getting it from childhood and you're down here in this child position, and here's the adults, and you're like, hey, I need this, let me try to, get this to happen for me, because I need the holding and I need the love and whatever. You learn how to be a pleaser. But what happens is then when you're an adult and you can look in the mirror and be like, I love this person. I'm so excited to love you, and to bring healing and stuff to yourself from divine love. And then the more you are in touch with the divineness that you are, and with the love that wants to come through you and to you and love you and heal you and know your being self, the more you are in that and in your divine self, you don't need that from other people. You realize you never needed it you didn't need it from the other people. I am love. I know right now some of the time it just sounds like words, but all right, so otherwise, when you're pleasing other people, you're doing that from like a child, and I need and I lack place, and you're doing that. Oh, I'm noticing. I found this bracelet the other day, and they say they have some water from Mount Everest, the highest point on earth, and some mud from the Dead Sea. And I've been to the Dead Sea, I think. I was in Israel, but I can't remember because I was young and it was a blur, but I think we went there. But anyway, if not, it's still the lowest point on earth. So I'm like, oh, I have the Dead Sea, and it's just the oscillations, the ups and the downs. But anyway, so if we're in a place where we're feeling like we're missing the love, and when you're in this place, your emotional brain, where you stored all of this, doesn't know time. Your logical brain is your left brain. Your right brain is your emotional experiences and emotional system and artistic. It doesn't know the time right now. And so what can happen is you can have an old emotional experience, and you don't have to identify with those. That's not all of who you are at all. It's just part of your present day personality, but that's a whole nother video. All right, so, but what we often do is we identify with it, and then we have it in our energy field, let's say, of who we are. We have this block or whatever. I don't want to speak anything that doesn't have to be there. So like, if you've already gone through this, then you're probably not resonating with this video anyway, so you're not here. Okay, so we have this old wound, an old way of trying to fix it by putting all our energy out to try to get the information for how we need to please these people in order to get the love that we needed to get. Now that worked as a child to survive, but it doesn't work. I mean, as an adult, it doesn't work because people feel the manipulation of that. You're actually, when you are a people pleaser, you're being manipulating. This is manipulative. It helps motivate us to change because we don't want to be a manipulator, because we can't stand the manipulators that show up in our lives. But why are they showing up? Because we're manipulating. I just got that just now, because how we get a reflection out in our external world of how we are. And so the narcissist, let's say, will show up and manipulate because they are like only about themselves, where we are still about ourselves. We're just trying to please them in order to get the love, and they're just trying to manipulate, I guess, us in order to keep us around and give them their narcissistic feed, and they don't care. But I'm not doing this for the narcissist right now. Like that, you guys find your own videos. What we're gonna do right now is what Erin was teaching, is that when you do a practice, you can do a practice for 5 minutes every day. And I understand the principle of this, where you practice, you're bringing your energy back into your own body being comfortable. Feel yourself in your body, like wiggle your toes, feel your energetic body in your toes, feel your calves, feel your thighs. I know the other day I was listening to, I think it was a live Eckhart Tolle teaching, and he was saying a way to do this is imagine if you wanted to feel your right hand without touching it, you know? That's what helps you. Now imagine feeling your left hand without touching it, without touching anything else. Feel yourself in your body, and that gets you out of your mind energy and out of being up here all the time, and pull your energy back in by your intention. And then that's why I was going to get my Bob Marley lighter, because let me see. Oh, this is just a different lighter. It's too bad. I love him. But all right, we can do this as our candle. Is what he practiced, what he just taught us, is you, and he learned from his shadow work, Aaron Dowdy. I don't know if I said his last name. Shadow work teacher. Is you stare at a flame, stare at a candle, you know, for 5 minutes. And when you do the in-breath, see yourself, in your body, all right? And when you do your out-breath, just relax your gaze. When you do the in-breath, see yourself separate from the flame, from this, from your screen, from me. You are your own person. Be in your own frame. I am separate, I am me. There's this space in between me and this other, you know? And then, and I just look at it and practice that for 5 minutes. And your mind, again, just like all my other videos, your mind will be like, it can't be this simple. It can be, and it is. Learn how to practice being present in the now, alert stillness. But let me see some of the things that I wrote down. You feel more connected and safe in your own body. You stop looking outside, because those people aren't going to fill you up anyway. They're just as depleted in their own understanding as you are, but you're not. None of us are. We're never in lack. We're just have a case of mistaken identity. We've identified ourselves with the lack. If I see myself as I had this intense experience in childhood of not feeling loved and nurtured. If I keep thinking that's all who I am, and I'm identified with that experience, then that's what I'm going to keep experiencing. But that's not who I am. I am a soul living in a human body. They gave me an experience in my physical body, but I'm giving myself a different experience now. And I choose to stop looking outside to try to please some magical other. And he was saying, it was so sweet. He was saying how, like, you know, I mean, it's sad too that people will quote, fall in love. This is not love. And feel this high because they feel this union at first, because they think this other person is going to be like the parent that they didn't have and fill up these old wounds. But then they get sorely disappointed, because that person cannot do that, and only you going in and connecting with the source of love that you are can heal this. It's inside. The kingdom of God is within you. Seek first the kingdom of God, and then all these things shall be added to you as well. That's what Christ does. He's always teaching us about higher consciousness and about how to heal these things. So he says, yeah. Oh, I know. Okay, so this is one other thing. This is why my intuition's leading me back to this, is that when you say no to other people, when you stop pleasing them, then you might feel a tension in your body, because you've learned to be really empathic. So you might be feeling their anger at you for saying no, because they're used to you saying yes. And so you might feel it as if it's your own, but it's not your own. And even if it is your own, sit with the tension and just be like, okay, I feel tension because as a child, if I didn't please my parent, then I wouldn't get this love. And so I feel like I'm going to die again. Christ says, die to yourself daily. He who does not leave his father and mother and brother and sister for my sake, for this sake, for the sake of a higher calling of higher love, is not worthy of me. He's not putting us down. He's inviting us to higher consciousness. He's saying, you have to leave these things in order to get them. And it's going to feel like death. It's going to feel like you have this tension. It's like, I have to please this person. No, watch what happens when you don't. you know? And if you feel alone for a while, like, it's like, it will pass. You'll get past that place. You go, and the only way to get to the other side is to cross through the river. It's like the dark night of the soul. And so sometimes it feels dark and lonely, but you're not alone, and you're doing something of a far higher order, and you're healing these old wounds, because who wants to stay in a pleasing place, you know, the rest of our lives? It's just, it doesn't work. It's manipulative, it's superficial, it's short-lived, it falls apart in the relationship, and then both people become aggressor victims to each other, and it's not of real love, it's something else. So it's inauthentic. Yeah, it's inauthentic to please the other. You're abandoning yourself when you go do that, you know? And we learn to do that in order to try to get it as a child, but we don't have to do that anymore. All right, so yeah, you said you're naturally magnetic, and you are more magnetic when you get in your own frame and be in your own body, and you don't need all these people anymore, and you don't need to please anyone, and it's really freeing, and I wish it for you. That's why I have all this other stuff to do, but I wanted to stop and make a video first. You're not dependent on what they think of you. I wish you so much love. Feel free, please subscribe and share and comment and engage with my channel, because I'm growing this channel right now, and I see a vision for it, and I'm really excited about it. So write in the comments what you got, or what you'd like videos on, or how I can be of best service to you with all the skills and the knowledge that I have. I'm working really hard to be more succinct, because I was just like, let's do therapy sessions before, but some people don't have all that time, or they don't know that these are valuable for them. So I'll keep those on the channel. You can go back and look at those, but I plan to keep these short for a while. And this is short. All right, much love.